What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Special night because we'll explain a little bit. All right, folks. Oh, man. Gosh, hang on. Let me adjust this fella right here. Let me just whoop, whoop. There we go. Anyway, welcome. It's Tuesday night. It is February 25th. And we have the world famous Charlie Iona. Thank you for joining us. What's up, Melissa and Sam? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, it's Tuesday night, and because Wednesdays, obviously, it's a taboo night because Uncle Charlie and his band plays at Troy's. And Thursday, unfortunately, I am flying out to DC for our annual legislative conference. So I asked Uncle Charlie if we could come on tonight because we missed last week because I was in Texas. Oh,
Yep.
look at this, Charlie. Look at that.
What? Let me see. Oh yeah.
I didn't know she called you hubby. I always thought she called you Charlie, but I guess now you're hubby. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, Patsy and Patty and Susan. Oh, he's opening his goodies. He's opening his goodies.
No, no,
I
no. I'm
have
just looking at my
my
iPad.
my crystal light. Mm. Sweet tea, of course, with the village logo, the village. Anyway, how you been, man? I missed you last week. I
Well,
missed
I
the
miss you.
village. I missed the whole village last week, man. I get withdrawals, Charlie, when we're not on. You know that?
Yeah. No, I miss you too, my brother. And I'm just setting up my. I'm looking at the comments, and first of all, I miss you. I hope you're doing well. I hope the grandchildren. I mean, I know you're excited to see your grandchildren, and
Mm.
but yeah, miss you. There's a lot of things to cover. I mean, you know, like they used to say, no news is good news, but too much news is bad news. What's
Um,
happening? Yeah.
Marie, all the way from Oahu, awesome. Yeah, if you guys are tuning in, yeah, put in the comments where you are at the moment. Kevin, what's good? Neil and Charlie. Neil, that's my uncle, but that's okay. You can call me Neil. I answer to everything, whatever you want to call me. But
Mm.
yeah. Anyway,
Oh
how's
yeah.
the grandbabies? I gotta tell you, we have been to Texas 3 times in the last couple months because Nikki had another baby a month ago. That baby wasn't supposed to come till the end of uh, January. So we went up for Christmas, and we had our son fly over from Portland or from Oregon, and we spent all Christmas together there. We weren't planning to go back till the end of January, but then the little fella decided to come out 3 weeks early. So we had it was kind of an emergency. She had gotten some complications, so she called us at 5:30 in the morning. Said, Dad, the doctor wants me in the hospital now. So we got out on the red eye that night because we couldn't make the 10 o'clock Hawaiian flight. So we had to. We got by the time we landed, the baby was born. But baby is good. His name is Jaheem. Jahari is just a big brother. Um, and Patsy was up there for like 6 weeks. I think
Woo.
5 or 6 weeks. What's up, Tyson?
Yeah.
Are you covering Doge or new correction center near Hanamalo Power Plant? You know, let me just. I've said it before. The village and this platform is a happy place. So, but it's kind of hard to ignore what's been going on. It is very hard to ignore. So, providing we can have a civil discussion, Charles, I'm talking to you, Charles, because I think I met with the I met with the Chamber of Commerce today. Every other month, we have a roundtable. The council chair meets with them once every other month, and then the mayor meets the follow. Anyway, that was part of the discussion today. because there's some uncertainty, especially in the federal arena with jobs and all of that. And I'll just say, as far as the county, I met with the mayor uh, late last week, and you can be, because we have many jobs here on Kauai in the county that's funded by federal dollars, federal grants. A lot of our
Yep.
transportation, our bus drivers are federally funded. Um, uh, there's a lot of our prosecuting attorneys, not a lot, but a bunch of them are federally funded. We have many positions within the county that's funded federally, and as you all know, the uncertainty of which funding source is going to get cut. But so the mayor talked to me, and we, the administration is, and I'm sure the council will support this during the budget. Is all of those federally funded positions, should the funding cut be cut, the county will pick up the cost. So we will not see any loss of services in the county of Kauai. Now that's only for the county positions that are funded by the federal government, not the state and not the federal position. So I'm comfortable with that. That at least our services aren't going to be cut. Obviously, that comes with a cost because we got to pay for it. But at the end of the day, I think the mayor's position as well as mine is that we will not allow those services to be cut. Period. End of story. As far as the real quick the relocation of the correction center, the jail, yeah, the preferred site is up Malo Road, going up towards Wailua Falls, and that's just logistically. I agree that is probably the best position. It's right there near the hospital, near everything. So it's so early in that the process. They've already had a couple of community meetings. There'll be many more, and we'll see where that goes. But yes, that needs to be relocated because it's in an inundation zone. So it does need to be moved, and I'm sure nobody wants it in their backyard. But at the end of the day, we're going to have to find a place for that. We, meaning the state, and the community, will not be left out of that decision-making process. So anyway, what the heck is that, Charlie? Is that an airplane flying over your house?
No, that's ice. They coming by. I got my doors locked right now.
Oh
But
my God!
I will say this, and thank you for bringing up about the corrections because I just got it on good authority, but I'm going to double check. I heard that all of them are going to get pardoned. So we just we just we just got to be prepared.
Charles, you are a troublemaker, Charles. You are just a
Oh,
troublemaker.
and
Hang on.
and well, I've said this before, but they had a Doge. I guess it is not a confirmed government entity agency. It was created, and so I know that we needed something to root out the impropriety of Doge. So they created a new entity called Douche, and that's going to clean out Doge within the next couple of days. But anyway, so much for that. No, I just gotta be in an uppity up mood because remember when we before we just got on, I was over there telling you, yep, come on, you wanna go for it, you wanna jump off the bridge, I'm with you. Let's jump, let's
you
go
know,
for it.
at the end of our chamber roundtable this morning, they asked me to if I had any closing thoughts, and I said, this is it. I said, I just found out that you can actually snooze on Facebook. If you have someone that posts something, you can actually snooze them for 30 days. I didn't know that without blocking them. So I've snoozed a bunch of people in the last week because, there's one thing about, and Charlie, your posts are civil. Your posts are civil. You make no secret about where you stand on these issues, but your posts are civil, and it's basically saying, "Hey, this is blah blah blah." But not all are like that, and some of them incite hate, incite hurt, and those I just snooze for 30 days. I need a break. Not them. I need a break because I try to get up in the morning and try to be happy, and yes, there's a lot of things that frustrate me. constantly. Trust me, Charlie. I think I share a
Yeah.
lot with Charlie, and there's a lot of things that go on every day within our county that frustrates me. And but it's hard to be, entrenched in this negativity in the morning and then have to try go and be happy. So I do respect everybody's opinion, and this is what's so funny. Charlie, remember when I was running for mayor back in 2018?
Hmm.
People were going around and saying that I was going to fire everybody. I was going to get rid of everybody, and it was simply not the case. But I did say in my platform that I was going to audit this county and I was going to audit every department, starting with the mayor's office, had I gotten elected. And then we would start to address the departments or the workplaces that maybe we had overstaffed over the years. Imagine this, right? We have spent so much money. And when I say we, I'm talking about governments at all levels, on spending money on technology that's supposed to make our governments more efficient, right? That's right, right? They come up, they say, "Hey, we got this new software. It's gonna make our work more efficient and more fast and all of that." But even though throughout the governments across the United States of America, we have spent millions or billions of dollars in technology to make us more efficient, the sizes of government has never gone down. You notice that? It's never. So we're being more efficient, but we still have more people that we need. So, but my plan wasn't to send a letter out to everybody say, "Hoy, tell me what you did in the last week, and if you don't respond, that's your resignation." No, that's something I would never do. And there's a way that you can do it, and it's through civil methods like attrition, right? As someone retires, we restructure the office, so maybe you don't need to rehire another person because of the efficiencies that we paid for. Now you can do more work with less people, but you're not going to cut people's legs out from under them. That's something that I will say is a little harsh, I think. But don't get me wrong, I fully believe and I expect government leaders to make sure that we're not spending more money than we should, because at the end of the day, the taxpayers suffer. So, but there's the right way and the wrong way to do it. And look at Tyson. No wonder you don't respond to all my posts that I've tagged you in. Yeah, no, you're not one that I got that got snoozed. So
Well,
yeah, I mean,
I will want to say this, okay? And this is again, I'm just coming from humble beginnings when I say this. I guess there's a um, lack of understanding, and I'm not saying that I'm the right guy to be saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. When someone says that there's overspending and fraud, okay, it's like in a bank account, right? And then you go and you reconcile and you look and you go, hey, I get an extra $100 here. Well, is that fraud on my part that now I get $100 more than what I thought? Or was it a mistake that I did in my accounting methods that I didn't, I've subtracted too much and I never, and so I got this extra money. And so you're going to have a lot of positions that says, they got all these bunch of monies. Okay, I get it. So my thing is, if you're going to balance your government, you got all of this spending. And if you can find where you can cut, I would have thought you take away those cuts and you put them back into the bank account for the government so it balances out, right?
mhm.
But all I'm seeing is a cuts taking place, supposedly, even though all these contracts were already awarded and they're going to have to be paid off unless you break the contract. It says, okay, you won the contract for 100 million. So far, I paid you 20 million. We're not going to pay you the other 80. Then you probably got to go court over that, right? For negotiating bad faith or whatever. But to come out and say we're going to cut and use that for the basis of cutting important programs, then what you're telling me is I'm not being Okola and say, hey, prove it to me. I just want to see, okay, if it's a dollar for dollar match, or if you're going to make the cuts, and then if it's going to effectively reduce what is owed in our government, and you take from another program. I look at it now, and just doing basic math, and I was sharing with you. If you got $10 and you take away five, I would expect the math to show me a balance of five, correct?
Hmm.
But what I saw today in this vote in Congress, you do your cuts, but then 10 minus 5, it equaled 40. See, that's what I don't get. And how the hell did we get to that point?
Well, I tell you, the solution is requiring a federal government to do a balanced budget. That's the problem.
Mhm.
And counties gotta by law gotta we gotta have a balanced budget. States gotta have a balanced budget. The federal government, they don't. And I think that is why you see all of the malfeasance, in my opinion. You gotta. I cannot imagine anyone. And Charlie, it is a great time for a debate
Mhm.
because I disagree with how they're handling this 5-day rule. I disagree with a lot of things, but at the end of the day, when I saw the list of expenditures that were going out over the
Right.
last decades or whatever it was, I get pissed off when we see our kupuna, when we see our keiki, when we see our homeless people, when we see all of our own people struggling and suffering, and we
Exactly.
are sending billions of dollars away for nonsense. I commend them for that. Okay. I don't have a dog in this fight other than I cannot stand when our people are suffering and this ridiculous spending is being sent overseas. And it's we'll see how this all. Like I said, everything is early. A lot of the crap we read is not true. So I think at the end of the day, when we get to see the reality of what is actually going on, um, we can have a much more intelligent discussion. But based on what I've seen and what has been validated and verified, yeah, I mean, I think the expenditures of this country has been ridiculous, and that needs to stop. That needs to stop. But you're
Well,
right, Charlie, not at the
I,
expense of our people.
I will tell you this, okay? At the rate we're going, and it's publicized, okay? There's no hidden fact. At the rate we're going, I wouldn't be surprised they do away with our military because when you're cutting them up to the at one time considered the enemy of the U.S., right? So you got North Korea and all of that, right? But now when you're siding with them, hey, why need a military? It's just like defunding the police, right? They would defund the
Yeah,
police. You read about it recently. It made things worse. So I said, okay,
absolutely.
you want to get
That
rid
that
of the
was
military? Get rid of the military. And
that
and
was
you know
that
if
was
we,
another ludicrous. This whole defunding the police thing, that was ridiculous. I mean, I think that was, and yet that was a popular movement throughout this country not too
yeah,
long ago. So
yeah,
it's again, it comes down to taking care of our people the best we
exactly.
can, and I mean, we should, if we can give away that much money and still have our homeless kupuna, then we got one serious priority issue. Marlene, I want to get your comment in here because I cannot agree with you anymore. This whole teleworking thing, and this is not only happening at the federal government; it's happening at the state government. It's happening at the state. When last year, when I was watching one of those legislative hearings, and they said how many workers, I forget. I think it was a Department of Transportation, someone, or Budget and Finance or whatever. How many workers were working from home? Why is anyone working from home right now, including in this county? Why? No, that. Sorry, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Sorry. Scrolling
Let
through
me
the.
let, let me ask you this, Mel, and I want your true opinion. Okay, when people come into work, are they coming to work so you can keep an eye on them, or are they coming to work for? And now, I'm not saying that I'm for teleworking. I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm just trying to wonder. People are against teleworking. Um, I think if somebody wants to telework, they better make sure they get on system that can, that they allow cameras in your house to keep an eye on you. That you saying you're teleworking, but it's like tele snoozing, and
Yeah.
that's different. It's not in your job description. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Yeah, those
And
kind of things.
it's not so much about keeping an eye on you. I think it's just we all of your resources are at the office at work. One thing the biggest complaint, or what complaint that pisses me off the most, is when a constituent calls me and says, I'm trying to call this department and I get
Hmm.
no one answers the phone, and that's not acceptable in my book. in county government, in state government, in federal government. That's not acceptable. When a constituent, tax-paying citizen is calling the county or the state or the feds, somebody better answer that damn phone. End of story.
Exactly.
When I worked at the
Exactly.
prosecutor's office under Justin Kohler and Becky, they have a it's a requirement that no phone will ring more than, I believe, 4 times before some human better answer that phone. So they have a
Hmm.
rotational system. The thing will ring. If it rings out, it goes to the next. But I cannot imagine as a county community service organization that somebody's not answering the phone. And I think, while some will argue, well, they can be just as efficient at home. I just I cannot imagine that being the case. I just cannot imagine that being the case. And maybe some jobs that may work, but when you're in county government and you're there to serve the public, I believe your okole should be at the county building on your desk or wherever you work, and that's just me. And it could be a very unpopular thing, but that's my position. And I'm not saying that to defend any of the president or Elon or any of that. It's just that's been my position from day one. During the pandemic, obviously, for safety reasons, you had that opportunity. But remember now, everybody was pretty much off the streets and all of that. But once everyone went back to normal, you go back to work. It's just
Yeah.
it's just how it has to be.
Okay.
I hated teleworking. I sorry, guy. I get so much. As a single parent, I telework to stay healthy so I can care for my child. Yeah, and again, that's one of the arguments that the employees that cannot telework, right? That they're not allowed, they cannot, whatever. They might be a police officer, they might be a front DMV driver's license person or whatever. They don't have that luxury, and they it creates a different environment for them, financial environment, because now they got to pay for their child care. And I think just historically, traditionally, unless you have a job, a job duty that is completely online and you're not required to be in office, absolutely. But the people that are teleworking today in our state and in our county should be at the office.
Hmm.
Let's see. My question is, how can I pay into my SSI and Medicare every paycheck for almost my whole life? And they tell me when my generation gets to retirement, we won't have any SSI or Medicare. So where is all that money going? I think that's rhetoric. I think a lot of people keep saying that we're going to run out of Social Security. Um, I'm an optimist, and trust me, I've been to DC enough times and spoken to the people, and I'm talking about the last administration that have assured me that that's not simply not going to happen. And I think that's just uh, what happens. And yeah, if we keep blowing away our
Well,
money, if we keep blowing away our money
brother,
as a federal government,
I'm going to tell you right now. You know, you think that there's all kind of waste going on for those of you who should be getting your SSI and all that. It's going to get even worse because when you have more people coming into the system that are going to start collecting, and then you reduce the needed workers, I mean, you're going completely the opposite way. Most jobs is like if you increase territory, right? If you want, say, one patrolman, and you add 9 more beats, you add 9 more patrol officers, right? You don't go down to one and expect him for take all that additional 9. It don't work that way. So I think something will give. You might, and just be careful, folks. If you're collecting and you see that you get a $2,000 increase, don't cash it. Don't do nothing. I mean, it's in your account. That's a red flag to say, hey, I mean, we're always believing in good things happening to people, but when it comes from the government and they give you something more, you don't want to be one of those statistics that you got to pay back with interest. And they come and they collect them one crack. Like I was watching the news the other day, and the family said, we never know that we're being overcharged, uh, and they expect us to pay back 71,000 right now, or else, you know, don't be the statistic.
Desi
Just be
says she
careful.
called Hawaii State RICO office and was told after 2 hours sent from person to person, she was told, "Lady, you're lucky I answered the phone and hung up." Yeah, exactly. I mean, That telling you, it's crazy. It is nuts. People teleworking and watching their kids at home. Yeah, that's some of the complaints I get from the people that are not allowed to telework. Thomas
But you know,
Nizo, fried
yeah,
chicken.
mm,
Okay.
okay. But I will say this also. I think this is just and I don't know, but and sometimes I blame the unions. But I think in all government jobs, you should be required. Like they have random drug testing, right? You should have random psychological testing. Because I don't know why they give you on psych exam when you first get hired. That's not when you're gonna see any of the signs. The signs gonna come in 3, 4 years down the line. That's when you're gonna start seeing signs that really if you're worth it for that job or not. And so, you get all these guys, they pass all these security clearances, right? Everything. Boom, they go. I mean, look what happened to brother Louis Kellow, right? He passed all the tests in the world. Look what happened to him. Brr! Who would have ever thought that would happen, right? You see some of these guys in the police department pass all these psych exam. That was at the front end. 10, 15 years down the road, brr, something happened. So, and then, but the union gonna say, hey, you give them one psych exam if you see signs. Hey, sometimes the signs are not there, but you should still test them every to make sure that they get all their marbles on right, right? They get the head screwed on right. That's what I think.
Well, you're right. I mean, I always was an advocate for having annual psych evals for police officers, all first responders, anybody that's subject to that kind of
Hmm.
events that they see on a regular basis. And
Yep.
LAPD, they have in-house psychiatrists, and you
Hmm.
can, but it's just it is because your brain is an organ, just like your heart, your kidney. We get physicals every 2 years. They check your blood pressure, your heart. They check all of that stuff, but we're not checking the brains. And that is where I think you're right. I agree with you that that we just
Hmm.
should.
And I
Uh,
apologize. I apologize for this line of questioning, but as you know, I had a pretty interesting day.
yeah, Charlie is like, I was like, I mean, what else do we talk about? Like I said, it's so hard to
Yeah.
ignore it because it's happening so fast that it's very hard to comprehend. And again, I think let me go back to Ed McDowell's because I agree with Mr. McDowell's comment, and I
Hmm.
missed it earlier. Oh, we get plenty of comments tonight, but anyway, his comments, and I agree 100%, is everything will all work out, and it always does.
Hmm.
It always does, and I think that's Congress's job to keep the administration in check, and I think the people is doing a very good job with making their voices heard. Every call goes to an answering machine. They call back when they want. We struggle to get Medicaid to call back. So if teleworking save on babysitters costs, it's only fair to compensate the office workers. Yeah, I think that, Marlene, that is the biggest complaint I get from county employees that are not eligible for teleworking, but they know what's going on. You're on your day off and you see your colleague in Costco shopping and they're teleworking. So no, I understand, and again, to me, the simple solution is just take away teleworking. Why would you? Why would you? Why would you not? Why would you allow teleworking? Um,
I would like to also say to our viewers out there, and I'm not saying this because he's on this platform with me tonight, but Mel Raposo is probably the one of the hardest, if not the hardest, workers I have ever been associated with over the years in law enforcement as well as a councilman. Because my thing, and I'm sending this out to all Democrats because I'm Democratic, but I'm gonna say this out loud. You guys goof off too long. This is what happens. So now, if you get elected, you get off your okole and not come out only during election time. You 24/7, and that's the reason why I'm pointing Mel out because Mel is truly a 24/7 guy. You can get a hold of him anytime. Yeah, that's right. No, I
boom,
mean it,
boom, boom, boom. Thank
because
you, Charlie.
get a lot of guys out there. These guys they cry, and I said, you know what? It's sad. You guys cry, but yet you got to get the people on the other side of the aisle got to go fight for you guys now, because you dum dums are just playing around until you say, no worry, we get this in a bucket." Look what happened. So,
You
anyway,
know,
sorry
thank you,
for going on.
Charlie. That is very nice of you to say that. And that's just I've been whatever job I've ever had. That's just how I was raised. That's just how it was, and it is what it is. Um, but
Mhm.
when when you like for me, I'm a true nonpartisan. Yeah, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I am a true blue non. I'm not an independent. I'm not a green. I'm not. I'm a nonpartisan. So I don't have to worry about satisfying a party or another party. I don't. It's
Right.
whatever's best for the people is what we got to do, and that's what pisses me off about Congress, um, and to some extent even the legislature. It's the D and the R, and if it's a D that's coming up with the potential solution, the R's are going to say hell no, and vice versa, and that is just pure bull crap. Where if we
This
all
is
there
how
for the people, but that's
this is how
wrong.
they should do it. This is how they should do it. DNR should only apply when you get elected. Once you go into Congress, you move the DNR, and you guys use logic to govern this country. Period.
I mean, put
Period.
term limits on Congress. Number one, put term limits on Congress. Require the federal government to operate a balanced budget,
Exactly.
and a lot of the
Exactly.
problems will go away. But
I
cannot, right?
like
Because of the
when
corruption. Because of the corruption, right? You cannot because we got to be able to print money so we can hide this transfers. And listen,
I
this
agree
is
with term limits.
this term limits automatic. I mean, if you like fix the goddamn problem, that's how you do it. That's how
And
you do
I'm
it.
sorry.
Ed,
I'm sorry, but
thank you,
I saw
Ed.
some people. I saw
Ted,
some people
Ed says I'm
looking into.
almost good looking. Almost good looking.
Oh, who said that?
Ed says I'm hardworking and I'm almost good looking.
Okay. Ed, I got some cards here for a free eye examination. Hey, let's change gears.
No,
I
man,
want to say,
let's rip some more, Charlie. Come on, man. No,
yeah,
just kidding, just kidding. No,
there
no,
you
let's
go.
change it.
You know, I want to say thank you to Tom Nizo and his staff for a wonderful and safe Waimea Town celebration that just happened this past week. I want to thank him for allowing me. You know, our ambassadors this year was Pastor Darrow and Elizabeth Kua from the West Side, and we got to open up for Mark Yamanaka on stage at the Waimea Theater. But if you didn't get a chance, I mean, this new staging that Thomas Nizo got, that brought in, and that's being housed, that's part of Pierre Marieff. I mean, I'm sorry, it puts the county stage to shame. I mean, it's the state of the art, but it's like what you normally would see in a big venue. I mean, it just takes a few buttons, boom, that thing gonna set up on its own. But it's huge and it's nice. But and you know what was even more funny this time around? Normally every year they have police officers, right? Working
Mhm.
that event. For some reason this year we never have no problems. But guess what? No police officers.
Charlie, they were teleworking.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, that's what everybody was saying. Hey, so maybe the mindset is if you put police there, it's going to agitate people to want to cause a fight. But if you take away that agitation, then maybe they're not going to fight. I mean, I this is something this is something
well,
scientifically we got to look at.
Charlie, you was policeman long time, so you know why me the West Side take care of themselves. That's just something that is special about
Well,
that place. For the most
there's a
part,
misnomer. There's a
for the
misnomer
most
about
part.
it. And again, because when I tell people, "Oh, I'm from the West Side," because I'm from Oahu, they think I'm talking about Nanakuli,
Yeah, no, no.
Makaha, Waianae. No, 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 no. That is that's for survival purposes only. This West Side on Kauai, for you folks that are tuning in, that's not even on Kauai, it's it's heaven made on earth. I mean, what can I say? What can I say? It's beautiful. This whole island is beautiful. I love this place.
But something about the West Side till today, it's just different. It's just, and I think it goes to what you were saying about when you put police officers in there and the police officers around there and they're doing their job. They're doing their job, right? They're making sure people are away from the roads. They're making sure nobody get their bows on the highway, and all of these things. You're right, right? It creates some tension, maybe not. And and I'm not saying that we just let everybody do what they like, but the West Side seems to have a way to police themselves. Some guys gonna get cracks in the dock when they get
Hmm.
out of control, and sometimes that's better than putting somebody in handcuffs. Just
It
saying.
was it was wall to wall people, and you're right. There's a group of individuals that um, just defies authority. So if they see it, that's their trigger. If they don't see it, they're gonna they're gonna waste their whole night looking for it, and they'll never find it, and that's why they don't cause troubles. I mean, that's a psychological approach to take, to take. But I want to say thank you so much to all the participants, the vendors. Thomas put up a really good lineup of entertainment this year. Um, Even with the beer garden where it was, nobody got out of hand. It was well controlled, and unless I'm mistaken, and if anybody has information to contradict otherwise, I mean, I didn't go, but my phone was on, and a lot of my workers went and said, "Oh, uncle, you should have gone. You from that side?" I said, when you get to Kupuna stage, like me and Auntie, we enjoy watching our Korean channels. I just love watching all the fighting go on YouTube. I just I just enjoy it.
Yeah, we I did not go because I saw some of the posts of the traffic that was heading out to the Waimea side, and I just decided, like you, kupuna status now. Um,
Yep.
if you get traffic going out that way, if you stay there to enjoy the concert and all of that, and then there's going to be traffic coming back. And the bedtime is not like the old days. Before I could stay up to 2, 3, 4 in the morning and function. Now, no can. And because of these trips we've been taking to Texas, the jet lag is just boss up the body. My body is poor Patsy. She came back on Monday, I guess it or Sunday, and went right back to work on Monday, and it's taking a toll. So, yeah, I
Hmm.
figured just be safe, stay home, and it was just so nice seeing all the pictures from and the videos that people were posting,
Yeah.
and yeah, good stuff. I'm gonna just put this up here, Megan Wong. This is way too long to fit on this screen right here, but this is involving a situation that is happening out in Haena, where this developer is building out some vacation rentals, digging septic tank pukas, disturbing EV kupuna, and Megan and a huge bunch of people out on the North Shore has been fighting to protect this EV, and I and the only reason I put that up there is because I'm seeing here this involves a slew of county and state agencies that kind of, in my opinion, have turned the blind eye and let this guy do what he's doing. But January 21st, the DOH rescinded the IWS approval. So I think what Charlie, I think what we should do is have Megan come on the show one night
Hmm.
and share with us exactly what's going on out there, because we got to really start taking care of our island, and we cannot let these people come in and destroy our island. And I just hearing more and more of how these people are doing that and getting away with it, and maybe it's time we start exposing them on the coconut wireless, because uh,
Yes.
so Megan, we'll be in touch. I will be gone for a week, um, but when I get back, we'll definitely get you on the show, and you can share with us what's going on out there. And I think the public will be kind of shocked because Kauai doesn't have any. really print media. We don't have any. You cannot get any news on Kauai News anymore. So these things
Yep.
are happening, and the public is not even knowing what's going on. Tyson, head over. Oh, let me bring this back down. Head over to the west side against this weekend, folks. This hosting Hawaii High School Baseball Walter Souza Invitational Preseason Baseball Tournament at Hawaii High. Thursday, Friday, 3:30, and Saturday, 9 to 2. Damien Midpack and Waipahu, my alma
Ooh.
mater. Not high school alma mater.
Well, my wife and I wanted to go to Maui this coming weekend, but unfortunately, I can't make it. My grandson, who plays varsity for St. Louis, and I'll just look. This is part of their preseason, right? And just I'm just so happy. He lived there. He grew up. His younger years. Him and the mommy and daddy and his sisters. They all grew up here on Kauai, but now they're back on Oahu. And I will tell you this, folks. When you have a chance, if you're a grandparent or you're just a parent or you're a caretaker, you have a chance to really enjoy time with your children, your grandchildren, your family. Take as much advantage as you can because our world is just going by so fast, and there's just a lot of negativity going around. And I think if we just, like, for me, as upset as I may get, and you're right, it'll come to pass. It'll come to pass. It's just that my whole life growing up, I've always fought for the little guy, and I just cannot see little people getting, kicked at the wayside. I, I have a hard time accepting that. But like they say, you cannot fight all the battles. You gotta let some people take over. So
Yeah.
that's why I got Melissa Bolton to fight the other half for me.
Oh, the tigress. The tigress.
Yep.
Sue, tell Patsy thank you for the yummy ube haupia dessert. Charlie, Patsy made ube haupia dessert. I took it to the chamber meeting this
Oh,
morning, and the leftovers, Mark from the chamber took it over. He said he had a meeting with Sue Kanoho folks. So I think Patsy's on, Sue. So I think she saw your
yep.
message. Ed says with 10,000 cesspool conversions forthcoming, standards must be put in place. Over 10,000 conversions. Yeah, I just had a meeting about that today. I've been working with Representative Nakamura. Number one, that's a dumb law. 2050 deadline for cesspools that may not be in areas that impact the environment. Cesspools are not much better than a septic. So yes, we are. You know, we are Ed, we are working on that and hoping that the state will revise. There's several bills going through right now this session
Hmm.
regarding the cesspool conversions. I think the legislature did that years ago to pacify environmentalists. And while I agree, we got to protect our environment, but why in the hell would you force a family or a property owner to spend 50 or 60 grand on a septic system if they don't need to? And if it's not impacting, if they're far away from the water, if they're far away from the coast, why would we make them spend 60 grand? And as we get closer to the deadline, those prices are going to get higher. Basic economics, supply and demand. So, yes, Ed, you see, I get passionate too about things. I choose to direct my passion to the stuff that impacts us here locally because it is going to hurt us. No, Charlie, that was not a dig. Charlie, that was not a dig.
Oh, yes, it
Marlene,
was.
Marlene says venting about teleworking abuse is only good if someone takes action. Most people agree, and then it ends there. I saw 21 years of many abuses. Rarely did the top guys get called on it. Remember, top guys are teleworking too. Yeah, I wish the council could. I wish the council could. There'd be no teleworking. Megan, I'll put a timeline together. Thank you, Megan. We'll do that. It'll be a one hell of a show. I promise you. I have seen the pictures. I have seen the videos, and awesome, awesome.
Hey, Tyson,
Uh,
thank you. I think he's referring to my grandson, brother Dean. I,
oh
I,
yeah, I
I
was
think
thinking.
yes, my grandson, Dane Kaihui. He plays for St. Louis. So proud of him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Even though I
Tyson.
went to communion.
Tyson types so fast sometimes he mistype and then the words come out wrong. So I wasn't sure
No,
what he
that's
was trying to
AI.
say.
That's AI, guarantee. But They get the new AI program you guys gotta watch. It's called Aya. That's the one that does a lot of mistakes.
Ray, aloha, Mel Raposo. So don't have to convert to septic. No, right now you have to before 2050, or if you are building out your house, expanding your house, or anything like that. Yeah, you still got it at the current moment, but we're trying to get that changed. Talk to your state legislators. You guys on the west side, talk to D. Kapa, not sure. Talk to Nadine. Lihui, Wailua, Koloa. Talk to Luke. Senator Kochi. Let them know how you feel, folks.
Yep.
We get more calls about state issues at times than we do with county issues, and it's frustrating because, obviously we don't have that opportunity. So, yes, let them know how you guys feel. They're all easy to reach.
I wanna ask something of you, Mel, because when you ask someone to come before the council to testify, okay, whatever it may be, for some reason it doesn't happen all the time. But when you get individuals that testify, you get people coming up that have really strong credentials. I mean, in most courts, they'll be deemed an expert. Then you get people that just talk as if they just wrote their first novel, they're a fictitious novel, and yet there's some people that take that as a gospel, right? How do you guys handle testifying in front of court? I mean court, but the council when you like say for cesspools, right? I don't know nothing about septic cesspool. All I know is number two go down the drain and it goes someplace. That's it. But when you're out in no man's land, way out in pristine areas, there gotta be some kind of check and balances to make sure that it doesn't, you know, turn into a deep dish pizza or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's like, but Charlie, you experienced it when you was a cop, right? You experienced it when you was a cop, when you went to a case, when you went to investigate, when you went to interview people. People said things that they thought they saw or they thought what should be, right? And you, as the officer and the investigator, gotta go through all of that and figure out what is credible, what is
Mhm.
not. I mean, it's the same thing as a council member. I think that's why for me to transition from law enforcement to politics was kind of similar because that's what we do, right? You got multiple points of view, as you can see tonight. Just reading comments, you see there's a lot of people with
Yeah.
different points of view, and I don't see why we gotta lose friendships and family relationships because of I don't care what the issue is, and we just gotta understand that that's just people. What may be a small issue to you and I, and I give you an example, right? I always tell this story, like, Mel, what is the most rewarding thing? And I'll say this may sound really really stupid, but Patsy remembers this till today as well. Is I had a call, probably my first term, maybe 20 years ago, and someone had an issue with a street light that was in their cul-de-sac, a street light. Now, is that a major, big issue? Not really compared to all the other issues we have, but to that person, that
It
was the
was
big
major.
issue. It was the biggest issue. And I'll never forget when they called to thank me for, all I did was send a memo to Public Works to go fix the light. That's all I did. But to him, that was it was amazing. And that's why I think we got to recognize that regardless of who has that issue, we got to treat that issue as if it was a serious issue because it is. If it's serious enough for them to reach out to the council or mayor or police or wherever, then we got to treat it as such because we live in a very diverse world with diverse cultures, and we got to respect that. And yeah,
Hmm.
so yeah, it's sometimes people are out there, and sometimes people are clearly misstating facts. But do I kick them out of the chambers? No, we take their testimony, and again, yeah, you organize it in the file system that you have, and what's credible, what's not, and then we as council members have a duty and obligation to do our homework. We got to do our homework. People say, "Wow, bro, you smart." No, I'm not smart. I just know where to look for the answers. And today's world, it's very simple. So when you're talking about waste management, solid waste, and all of these things, it's not hard to figure out what needs to be done. It's just the
So, so I guess the question I'll ask you is, when you're going through all these testimonies, Do you have a fiction and non-fiction pile that you guys?
Actually, I have a recycle container under the desk. I'm not joking, and that's where because some stuff is just far fetched. But
Yeah.
I will say this, Charlie. I have actually changed my position at a council meeting because of testimony that the public made. Because
Yeah.
I was I was seeing it in my way and my experiences and what I had read and what I had seen. But when someone comes up and gives you that human impact, that I can tell you, man, it was like, and it happens. It happens. I'm not ashamed to change my vote if I believe that. Wow, I was just looking this through the wrong lens. I was really looking at this through the wrong lens, and this person is going to be impacted. Yeah, but that's what we're supposed to do, right? That's what we're supposed to do. Same like you,
And
Charlie.
had
You go to a scene. You respond to a domestic. You're pumped. You like grab that guy. In many cases, we do, and we arrest the guy only to find out that that guy was a victim,
mhm.
or vice versa. So, perception, experience. But once you settle down and you listen to everybody's testimony, then it's time to regroup and figure out what is the best direction to take.
Well, I tell you, many times, I mean, just like you, I get, people standing there, they tell me one story. So I do as they say. They says, hey, it must be true. And then when it works against them, I tell them, hey, what the hell are you yelling at me for? I just said follow your lead. Get your story straight the next time.
Yeah,
But,
it's just
yeah,
the ability to sort and receive, and that's why it's always been. You guys all know this. Everyone on this show knows this. Is I am a very strong proponent of engaging the community. We gotta
yeah,
know what the community's feeling is, and but oftentimes, especially at the congressional level, I will just say this, and Mark Zuckerberg can kick my ass off of Facebook, but they don't give two shits about the general public. They don't care.
mhm,
The ones in control anyway. There's a lot of people in Congress that we don't even know exist because they're just there. The power people make all the decisions, and it's so doggone political. It's not right. But we at the county level, it's a whole different story, right? We don't have this DNR or party versus party, and that's why I love this system that we have, that we don't have districts. And I know people on this call right now, on this show right now, will be telling me, Mel, we got to get districts. We got to get districts. And I'm going to tell you, the reason why the council members get along on Kauai, unlike Honolulu, Maui, and the Big Island, is because we don't have districts. 7 members of council serve the same constituents throughout the island. There is no uh, territories. It's like we all serve the same constituents. So I know people think I'm crazy, and everybody wants districts because that's how they do it on the mainland. Well, you know what?
I will say this, and for those of you out there who are aspiring to be a congressperson, part of the qualifications you need is you have to be a real good storyteller. Because when you watch C-SPAN and you watch them talking in Congress, and they're given so many minutes, they can talk everything from uh, making butter out of milk, and
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
they talk everything under the sun, and you wonder what the hell. But they're so good talkers, and so they talk your ears off, and you get to the point like, what, I give up. I just gonna vote with you.
yeah.
So
I think
if you're gonna run for Congress, make sure you're a good storyteller. Okay. Now, people ask, Uncle Charlie, how come you not run for council? And I'm gonna tell you again, because Uncle Charlie's patience is about as the size of one pea. So if you get me going, I have no problem reaching over that partition that separates the public from the council. And
okay,
that's why,
okay,
you know
okay,
what?
okay. Ho. Relax, Charlie. Relax. I want to put this up again because Sherry says she's seen it along with my recommendations of smiling when you speak. That is. Sherry comes into the council meeting sometimes with a face that would just I scared. When she walk in, I'm like, oh no.
No,
But
she
when
means
she
business. She
but
means
when she
business.
smiles, she's such a beautiful person. She's
Yes.
such a beautiful person. I always tell her, and she says, "Stop it, stop it." But yeah, I just smile. I mean, you know, you smile.
Yeah.
Ah, damn.
Exactly.
Districts are poho. Yes, sir. I agree. We don't need districts. We live on a rock.
No,
I
Kauai
talk.
is unique. I hate to say it, but I mean, I'm no, I'm proud to say it. Kauai is unique. As you know, I moved from Oahu. I live a good part of my life on Maui, and I have no regrets. It gave me the experience to know what each area. The only island I haven't lived on is a big island, but every day I get the opportunity. I'm sorry, Maria. I didn't go to Farrington, but I wish I did. But I went to Kamehameha up the hill. Farrington is. I get a lot of friends there, and I always make this comment that if I ever had the chance to replay, I would go there because a lot of them are good leaders in our community today. And we took it for granted back in those days, but you look at it now. There's a lot of scholars that come out of Farrington. But there's a lot of things that Mel that happens
I
that
just want to
happens.
real quick say hi to Gilbert. Gilbert and I go back a damn long way, and I
Ooh,
don't think he's ever been on our show. Welcome, Gilbert. Mahalo for jumping in. Sorry, Charlie. I haven't
no,
seen
no, no,
Gilbert
no.
for a long time.
So Kauai, in comparison, and not because it's laid back. It's just that the people get big hearts and they're real. And when they come and cry on your shoulder because they need help, it's not because they're trying to dupe you. It's they really need help. And so that's why when the missus and I we do these food drives or we do anything that we can for the community, is we believe in what the needs are, and we're gonna do it. I mean, you can pull one over us, fine. But the thing is, if we have to do it again, we'll do it again. And that's what Kauai is. It's that special. It's just that special air about Kauai.
Absolutely, Melissa is
Yeah.
absolutely correct. People are about community, and that's why I love this place so much. And I talk a lot about Texas. I talk about the cheap prices. I talk,
Mhm.
there's a home that we were looking at um, on an acre of land. I should have put the pictures up tonight, but
Yeah.
swimming pool, two hot tubs, patio area with a fire pit with a patio set where you can smoke your cigars and drink your diet coke and all beautifully manicured, four bedroom, four bathrooms, about 2,600 square feet,
Hmm.
$474,000, Charlie.
Wow.
Four
Wow.
hundred and seventy-four thousand dollars. But when we're in Texas and we thought, oh, how wonderful it would be to live here. The dollar goes so much further. Gas is 2.45 a gallon. You fill up your car for $30. There's so much money left over for the people that live up there. But then you think about what you're giving up by moving, right? You give, yes, my grandkids are up there, and it's going to be a very tough decision at some point in our lives what we do. But this charm of Kauai or Hawaii, providing we can preserve it, right? Providing that we as a community and leaders can preserve this, I think it's always going to be a tough decision to make. But so many have
Yeah.
already moved. So many have already moved, and they're doing extremely well up there, and they can always fly home. So that's my charge in my life now. Is like, what can I do to keep families back here? And it's a very tough challenge, but
Well, there are for those out there that you know well we they all the viewers know what we're talking about. But there is this dynamic that we have to deal with, and that's what happens when you're an island state. When you're out in the middle of nowhere, you do not have the luxury of driving across state lines. It doesn't work that way. Everything has to be either flown in or brought in by boat, and that's what adds to a lot of the financial difficulties. Right, just in that alone. Then what's available, and you'll see that many supplies get offloaded on Oahu. Then there's another cost that's tacked on when it's put on the young brothers and brought to the outer islands. So, those are the kind of things that Hawaii has been struggling with for years. And I think there's no real answer because it continues. And I'm 66 now. And I remember growing up asking my dad, and my dad was a self-employed, tile man, and his thing was, his gain to fame was that Hilton Hawaiian Village, putting up that rainbow, and then discovering Kauai because he came over here and worked at Princeville, building some of the tile work at some of the homes that was just coming up, the first homes in Princeville. But those are the kind of things that we have to contend with. And I don't fault anybody for moving out of Hawaii because that's a decision, and maybe it was a hard pressed decision they had to make, but they had no other choice.
Yeah.
And all we can say is, whenever you come back, we'll be here waiting for you. And I hope that one day, like our Melissa, we're sad that she and Manny moved to Washington, but hopefully one day when the wife and I make it up there, we'll see them. And it's those kind of things. And I know the decision is hard for you and Patsy right now, especially when you see your grandkids and being a grandpa 22 times over. I know the feeling. I know that feeling, man. So
Yeah, it is, and it's just the circle of life, though. It's a circle of life, and I just think we got a lot of work to do here, and yeah, so we'll see what happens. But anyway,
well, she got Cherry. I just wanted to say, okay, the model. Okay, yeah, I've heard a lot of pros and cons about the Jones Act, Sherry, and there's a lot of things that go into it. Not just removing it will solve the problems. It can also make a lot of problems. So I think whatever actions are taken, we just got to be real surgical. But I feel you. A lot of people have said
I
that.
I am meeting with Representative Case up in D.C. I think next Tuesday, and we will be discussing the his because he's looking at modifications, amendments to the Jones Act to benefit
Yes.
Hawaii and Puerto Rico and some of the other island states. So I'll have a lot more information and a better understanding of what he's trying to do when I get back. So I definitely believe it's time that we look and create some exemptions for us in Hawaii because that is a big problem. And just to depress you even further,
Yeah.
the young brothers is seeking PUC approval for a fair rate increase, and I got to tell you, it's 20% increase on the current rate for containers, 25% for refrigerated vehicles. I think it's going to go up to 30%. So automatically,
Brother, what happened
everything.
to the 25 mil bailout they had a couple of years ago? But then spend them all already. If they don't know how to spend, then maybe they gotta go class on how to spend first before they ask ask for increases. I mean, ah,
That's my point, right? You can only pile on so much, and
yeah,
we
yeah,
gotta just So it's gonna take the village, and the village is all of us. I mean, it is, and
yeah.
you know, gotta unite. Anyway, I know we went past 8 o'clock, but I couldn't stop Charlie. He was like a wild bucking bronco that was going across the corral, and I know he's so far. He's like in Waimea, so I'm actually really safe right now. I'm really really safe right now. Yes, Tammy,
No,
I understand. Tammy daughter lives in Arizona, and she has no plans to move home yet. That'll change later, I think, as they get older. But
yeah.
it is what it is. So anyway, any closing thoughts, Charles, before we? If I can manage to find a time slot in DC, we'll do a show. Maybe we'll do an early show, Charlie, while I'm up there.
Just do an early one. I can do it
Yeah.
from the airport. That's not a problem.
Boy,
You
what
just
you got to telework that day. You got to telework
huh?
that day. You cannot be doing that from your workplace. Bye
Oh, I can't.
bye,
I
Big
can't.
Brother. Bye, Charlie. You're gonna get the email. What did you do in the last 5 days?
Um, yeah, I watch close to 9,000 people come in and out of Lihui Airport. Yeah, took me all day for watch them. I'm dizzy right now. No, I would like to say to all the viewers, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I love you, Brother Mel. Thank you for having me back on again. Thank you for the shirt,
Oh,
coconut wireless shirt. Yep.
Charlie.
Yeah. Yeah. Same, same, same,
Same,
same.
same.
So, thank you so much. And as always, folks, we come here and tonight I think I was a little bit more forward with my comments because, there's just so many people that can be impacted. And no matter how much I say, hold on, we just got to go for the ride. It's like one car out of control. It's going to come, it's going to stop sooner or later. And it may tumble a couple times, but if you get harnessed in real good, we can survive that tumble. And so, but I know it doesn't make you feel comforted any less or any more. But that's the only advice I can give because I'll be along for that ride too. And so I want to make sure that as long as Mel gives us the access through this platform, we'll make sure that everyone gets, and that's why we call it the coconut wireless, right? Everyone will get the news. So thank you again.
Thank you, Charlie. Thanks for the kind words. You melted my heart tonight. How
There
can we
you
get a
go.
shirt? Once I get off here, I'll put up the link. You can order your shirt and get it delivered. It's a really nice shirt, Charlie. It's so nice and soft, and
It's comfortable. Yep.
it's I don't look at that. Look at that. That's a logo that I designed myself too. Like I'm so proud because I'm not a designer. Actually, it looks like crap, but hey, you know what? It's growing on me. I like
You know
that.
what? You know what's so good about this shirt? I gotta tell you. The design, the color.
Hmm.
I can actually walk around in the yard nighttime, and my wife wouldn't even know I'm there.
Oh my God, Charles, you are just too much. Anyway, can we get water bottles? Water
Oh
bottles?
no, just the cup you drinking from. It look-
Oh, you get the sticker. It's a sticker that I put on the. It's just a sticker. Actually, I tell you what, Sharon, it's a little sticker like this that I don't have too many left, but the first two people that message me their address, I'll send them a sticker. How's that? I think we
Yeah.
gotta get. Yeah, I think we'll do that. I think we'll do that. Just message me in Facebook. Just give me your name and your address. I'll get this. I'll get you the first. I only get two left that I can give away because
Hmm.
the other ones I like put on the side of my hot red uh, Nissan
I
truck.
also I
But
also
yeah,
want to give.
they go real. It's vinyl, so it goes right on. It's really really nice. Um, the shirts. I'll put the link up in the. There we go. I'll put the link up in the comments when I'm done. So go check the comments and you can get your shirt.
I also want to send a shout out to Jason Maishiro over at Domino's Pizza in Lihui and in Kapaa, as well as the man himself, Mr. Mike Rumpel, located on the Big Island as well as on Oahu. And he's the franchise owner for all the Domino's in Hawaii, along with Jason. Um, it was so thoughtful of them that when we had, during the holiday time, they were going out and giving those gift cards, $25 off and what. I mean, with $25 off, you get a whole pizza, right? And they've never made it a hidden secret that hey, if you need help, they'll come to you. If it means a whole shift, which is a 24-hour period, they will make pizzas for you and help you. So I just want to give a shout out and a big mahalo to them. Big mahalo to
Nice.
them. Really nice, super nice guys to work with, and we will do a lot more with them. So and those of you who have been fortunate enough to get one of those gift cards from me, I will continue to get some more, and I just love passing them out because I mean I love pizza, but Uncle Charlie can only eat so much. But use use the cards when you go in, and you get that much off your next order of pizza. So I just want to give a special shout out to them.
Awesome, awesome. Let's see. Trucker caps. Wait, where did the comment go? Trucker caps with the Doodle Boy picture of you two as your tag. Think about it. Yeah, we maybe we gotta set up a merch store. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. We'll see.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Hey, folks, thank you guys again. Appreciate y'all. We love you guys, and we'll try to we'll try to see if we can get something going. I up in DC, it's a busy time. But if I can sneak away for an hour or so, I'll get Charlie on and we'll do something. If not, we'll catch you guys in a couple weeks. You guys take
Okay.
care. God bless. We love you guys. Um, be happy, guys. Be happy.
Aloha.
Aloha.